series? No, not really, as far as I can tell. But they are looking at old James Bond girls for wisdom, which in this case is very good news. We are looking at Variety. Former Bond girl Gemma Arterton says female 007 would be too outrageous. Sometimes you just have to respect the tradition. Now, I think this is a very widespread opinion. I think the idea of a 007 James Bond, if James Bond is indeed a code name and it's not the same character, the idea of a female in the lead of a James Bond movie just seems weird to most people. Like, how would that work? Is the womanizing, playboy aspect, is that going to be portrayed in exactly the same way? She's out there sleeping with a ton of men or women. Does that even have the same feel? Does that have the same ring of truth that, a woman that could have anyone they want is just going to sleep with everybody? Does that make any sense at all for her as a spy? Don't we have characters that are similar to that in the sense of a femme fatale, that are not womanizing, so on and so forth? They're specific characters in a similar tradition of, noir spy thrillers, and they have their place, and we love those characters. So then why are they relegated to playing James Bond? Should they be able to hold up on their own, have their own series, and not get the cast-offs, the leavings of someone else's series and characters? But for as widely held as that opinion is, it is almost never uttered by people in the industry. But again, this is more evidence of the kind of the vibe shift. I don't think this article gets published, even if this person says the same stuff. I don't think this article gets published a year ago, 2 years ago. I don't think it happens. Quantum of Solace star Gemma Arterton has weighed in on the prospect of a female James Bond, suggesting that such a change might not align with the franchise's tradition. Isn't a female James Bond like Mary Poppins being played by a man? The actor told The Times. They talk about it, but I think people would find it too outrageous. Sometimes you just have to respect the tradition. This is exactly the same argument that everybody has for race swapping, gender swapping, all kinds of characters. Does it make sense to have Barack Obama played by Ryan Gosling? I mean, hey, he's playing the same character. The same things are going to happen. Who cares if this guy was black and now he's white? Who cares if Jimmy Olsen was, a white redhead guy? Can't we have them be, a black lady in the new series? Doesn't that make... I mean, who cares, right? Why do you care? Are you a bigot? The question of racism and bigotry aside, it just seems weird to do that, especially with characters where the sort of the gender identity of the character kind of actually plays an important role in how that character acts in the world. James Bond is a totem of masculinity. Some of the bad aspects are certainly there, but they are tempered. They are, in service to a greater cause of, this person's saving the world, saving their nation, saving people's lives. If he has some quirks and some foibles that we don't necessarily like, it's kind of up to the audience to decide, well, is that okay? Is it alright that this guy, you know what, he drinks, he smokes, he sleeps around, but he gets the job done, and it's a job that absolutely has to get done if society is to continue. So you know what? Do we allow those people to live? Should they be allowed to do these things? And I think everyone likes James Bond, so clearly the answer is yes. Arterton, who played Strawberry Fields in the 2008 Bond film alongside Daniel Craig, also expressed puzzlement at how the role has followed her career. I don't regret doing a Bond film, but I am perplexed why it has followed me around. I was only in the film for 5 minutes. This is true. This is hilarious. I barely remember her in the movie, although she was always touted as a Bond girl. The 38-year-old actor, who recently starred opposite Ian McKellen in The Critic, spoke candidly about the evolution of on-set practices, particularly regarding intimate scenes. She recalled in an instance where a sex scene was just thrown upon me, like, this is what's going to happen, and I did it. She noted that such situations wouldn't occur today, thanks to intimacy coordinators. This did apparently used to be a thing where directors would basically just sort of spring this stuff on them, or even if the scene was written in the script, they would maybe amp it up. They would go, okay, well, you know what, this was going to be like a fully clothed embrace. Let's have you show your butt. Let's get, let's get a little bit more skin involved. Let's do this kind of stuff. And I'm sorry, but when you're on set, you've got, dozens of people who are waiting on you. It's very difficult to be able to say, no, I'm not doing that, and really hold your ground. It's the rare person that can do that. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do it, but it's just, it's really kind of rough to do. Do I think you need intimacy coordinators? I don't know. That seems like probably an extra job that's maybe useful once or twice, and it's generally just going to balloon your costs. I'm not against it, but it seems like people, being able to hold their ground is a better solution. Addressing current industry safeguards, Arterton highlighted the presence of support systems, including anonymous helplines on call sheets. If there's any bullying, there are outlets you can contact. This is probably the best solution, because, to be perfectly honest, yeah, this intimacy coordinator stuff, at the end of the day, they still work for the studio, so maybe they can make you feel better about doing this, but my guess is they've got more to lose, / it's easier for them to lose it than an actress who's being pushed into something. Yeah, if they say, like, if an actress of Gemma Arterton is like, hey, look, this is what's going to happen, you're going to do this scene, I'm not comfortable doing that, well, you got to do it. Whether you end up doing it or not, the story is going to be this actress was pushed into doing something. The intimacy coordinator, if they don't do their job, they're just fired. There's no real recourse for this person because they're not a known name. The actor also discussed filming. Oh my god, I can't even go into this anymore. This is now like every paragraph is a completely different thing. So they start with James Bond. Now they're talking about The Critic, something I've never heard about. The actor also discussed filming The Critic while pregnant, noting the production's supportive approach. You can shoot around it, so there are a lot of shots of me holding things in front of me. You can see me growing as the film goes on. Okay, let's just... On her, The Critic co-star Ian McKellen falling off stage while starring in Player Kings at London's West End, Arterton said, "It was a big fall, and obviously he's an older gentleman. He's taking time out to recover. He's such a Peter Pan. He's so young at heart. It was a bit of a wake-up call." Okay, let's finish the article, and then I will give my reasons on why this is such a winding, insane article that has no real through line. There's nothing in here that anyone would consider a stable thread of thought. Arden, who lives in Sussex with her husband actor Rory Keenan and their son, has chosen to reduce her workload during her child's early years. She's also maintained distance from social media, having left Instagram years ago, stating that actors need to keep a bit of mystique. She's also shared her perspective on class representation in the art, expressing regret at being revised to lose her Kent accent during drama school. I'm a big advocate for getting more working class people into the arts because we have a lot to offer. Okay, I can only imagine that the reason every single, two-sentence paragraph here is a completely different thread of thought is because the writer of this article is somehow trying to put a left-wing spin on this. I don't understand. Like I said, I don't think this article gets made, but it seems like this person doesn't know how to write an article where the message of identity politics and political correctness is not front and center from, the thing that they said. Obviously, this is the most outrageous thing. I'm guessing this person interviewed Gemma Arterton about this movie when she was doing a press tour for it. This was obviously the thing that popped out. But this is just an insane article. This is literally just a crazy, ridiculous, insane article. The first two paragraphs actually connect. This is its own thing. This is kind of connected to this. These are kind of connected. Then we're talking about the critic. Then we're talking about Ian McKellen falling off stage. Then we're talking about where she's living. And then we're talking about, hey, she's from a working class family. Who else is from a working class family? Do we know somebody from a working class, middle class family, don't we? Okay. The other thing in here that we like is actors need to keep a bit of mystique. This is absolutely true. This is why people don't care when the Avengers get together and go, hey, vote for Kamala Harris. Sweetie, you're actors. We like you in movies. We don't really care about you or your opinions. So keep them to yourself if you want to keep the air of import and fame and celebrity and mystique. You're throwing that away for, I'm guessing, a paycheck from the Kamala Harris campaign, but shouldn't you already be rich? Come on, put that stuff in the market, grow it slow, and you're good to go, okay? Stop wasting all your money so you have to take these crappy, commercial deals selling some perfume, some cologne, some political stance, and just sock your money away in the market. And then you can live your life like a human being and not a puppet being puppeteered by whatever director gets in front of you. With that being said, good luck in all your endeavors. Thank you very much for your time and attention, and I shall see you later. Farewell for now.